So, ladies and gentlemen, that title might be like a shock to some of you. It's not a title that I would usually go for because on my channel, you usually see me like exposing people, doing like drama content, commentary, stuff like that, you know? But this video, I have been meaning to make for a very long time, but I couldn't really bring myself to the point of being comfortable enough to talk about it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the most like open guy when it comes to talking about my feelings and stuff like that. It's just not something I really do. And that's not me being like, oh, I'm such a manly man, I never talk about my feelings. It's more like, I don't know, man, I'm just, the way I grew up, like with my dad and stuff, he never really ever talked about his feelings, so I'm kind of the same. I feel like it's not something that I've ever seen like people growing up do. I don't know, it's still kind of awkward to me to talk about feelings, but here we go. And don't worry guys, I'll give you all the details of how this kind of happened. So around a year ago now, I met this girl, and before I get into this, I want to mention some of you may know who this girl was because she was in my Discord server and stuff like that. But I just want to say, if you're one of those OG fans that know who she is, please don't send any hate to her because that is not what I'm trying to do with this video. And I do also want to mention that I did online date this girl, so I basically don't count it and I don't care about the situation anymore. I was a lot younger, a lot more immature. Stuff has changed since then, you know what I mean? Alright, so around a year ago, I met this girl, funny enough, actually playing Skywars with my friend. A lot of you may remember this friend. His name is DMAC, and me and DMAC were playing just some Skywars, and funny enough, I ran into this girl that had the name of a girl I used to talk to a very long time ago. So something in my head was like, you know what, I'ma send a message because why not? So then I was like, I sent this girl a message in game. Obviously we kept messaging in game back and forth while I was playing, and then either it was her or me got each other on Discord and we kept talking on there, as most, you know, quality e-dates go. But I was talking to this girl and she basically, she seemed really nice. Like, we talked a bunch, we texted a bunch, she had a good personality, she was funny, stuff like that, you know? And at first she told me she had a boyfriend, so I keep that in mind, ladies and gents. I did not do anything, like, I was not flirting with her, she was not flirting with me, anything like that. Like, she was clearly being loyal to her boyfriend. And then a couple days go by and I suppose she gets a bit more comfortable with me, and she basically tells me eventually that her and her boyfriend are having problems. Like, they keep arguing, they keep doing all this stuff, and it's not going well anymore. So then eventually I find out, so she tells me that she's broken up with this guy, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. And we keep talking for about another week or two, and to be fair, this was probably a bit too soon, but I kind of got the feeling that she liked me. And you know guys, sometimes you just get that feeling, like sometimes you can be wrong, she might have been being friendly or something like that. Well, she wasn't being friendly, and she did actually say that she does like me back, but because she broke up with her boyfriend so like not that long ago, she thinks we should just keep talking for now. And I was pretty much okay with that. We kept talking for a little bit, stuff like that, and then eventually we kind of named it, like, you could call it a situationship. We kept talking with each other, we kept texting, stuff like that. The only issue is we didn't VC a bunch is the thing. Like, we hardly ever voice called, and for me that's a big part. Like, at least if you're not going to see the person, voice calling is like a big part, but we hardly ever voice called, so that became a bit of an issue for me. And I did try bring it up with her a few times. I didn't like being pushy about things, but it was like she was completely avoiding it. So long story short, me and this girl, so we kept texting and texting. Like, we'd play almost every night at this point, but she still would always have some excuse when it came to voice calling, like, oh, my parents here, or this or that, you know what I mean? And I don't like being particularly pushy with things, but I did like kind of hint to her that it's, you know, a big deal for me to voice call. And eventually down the line, like, we kept talking for I think almost 9 months, so we just kept texting and texting. I don't know how, and it kind of got to the point where we were arguing like almost every single day. There was an argument over something, like something was always going wrong. We'd play Skywars and it'd always end in an argument. Like, we're literally just gaming or just doing something, and at least once a day it would end in an argument. It'd always be at night for some reason, and we just argue for ages, like hours on end. And to be fair, I could have been less stubborn at times, so I don't fully blame her for it. Like, I obviously was to blame at times, but you know, it kind of like, it was getting to the point where it's becoming a very, very regular thing is what I'm trying to say here. And I could tell that she was kind of getting sick of it because I was too. I was just like, look, we're arguing every single day. Like, it was actually getting so annoying. And then we kind of went through like grace periods where we'd be like completely fine for like a week, maybe a couple days, and then the arguing would just be back to how it was before, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't help at all. We would always seem to return to this like arguing state where nothing would improve, and It was just the same. And then I could tell down the line that she was kind of losing interest because she kind of brought up like breaking up a couple times, and me being the clingy idiot that I was like, no, I don't want to, like, you know, we'll fix it, I'll do better. You know what I mean? Like the typical sappy, simpy stuff. Like, I don't mean to badmouth myself, man, but I was like, it was terrible for me. I was down horrendous. It was so bad, I will never do that again. Okay, but for real, so I was like, no, we shouldn't, I'll improve, even though I feel like the majority of the arguing was because we both had flaws, but she pretty much refused to change, so I kind of was like the only one that was willing to put effort into something. And then somewhere down the lines, we kept arguing again. I tried changing, I tried like just apologizing anytime an argument broke out just to completely avoid it, and it kind of got to the point where I got super upset because I was like, we hadn't broken up yet, but I could tell that it was getting to that. Like, I could tell it was getting to the point where she was going to break up with me sooner or later. Like, it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time before she kind of said it. And then eventually it came to the point where she did indeed do it. She did break up with me, and she was like, look, we need to stop talking, I can't do this anymore, like, we keep arguing. And after that kind of happened, I went into this state of like, I don't know, I was really upset about it, as any guy would be. I was super upset about it, and despite the fact it was literally just an online relationship, as much as you like want to look down on that, I get attached to people like a lot. It just kind of is my personality, I guess, and I can't change that. Like, I'm a very attached person. I would definitely say I was very attached to her, because for the past 9 months of my life, I had spent the majority of my time just straight up like texting this girl, talking to her all the time, and it became a thing, like a regular, she was like part of my everyday life, as much as it sounds weird to say, like doing all that like simpy stuff, like, oh, good morning, and like stuff like that, you know what I mean, like the typical stuff. And now that it all had kind of disappeared, it felt like so different. I couldn't explain the feeling, and it definitely did upset me because I was doing things which I shouldn't have done, like stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have gone down the route I went with. I'm not going to specify what, but in short, I was following down a bad route in life because of it. I was just resorting to doing things to cope with me being upset and stuff like that, and it definitely isn't the route you should go down if you're upset about something. Some we just break up, like every couple break up, how it happens, like just a normal breakup, typical breakup. And for some reason, something in my head just told me like, you know what, this is all online, this girl's kind of like, her whole persona's kind of online, it wouldn't be hard to look into this a little bit. And one of her friends that I reached out to, or either they reached out to me, basically told me that she had been talking to another guy the whole time, like behind my back. And this wasn't even like at the end of the relationship. That's the worst part. So apparently for the first 5 whole months of us like talking and dating or whatever, she was talking to this other guy behind my back, like, and I knew nothing about it. So then I add the guy on Discord, of course, it's e-dating, everything's gonna be on Discord. And then I add this guy and I'm like, well, is this true? And he basically said I can literally like let you log into the Discord account. Like, I don't use that Discord account anymore, but I can show you all the messages. And I logged into his Discord account, and right in front of me, I saw all these messages, like them saying like, oh, when you finish your exams, I can take you to dinner and stuff like that. And it was so like, I don't know, man, something inside me just did not like that. Like, this girl was the whole time talking behind my back to another guy. Like, something inside me just flipped, man. I was like, bro, it pretty much felt like I had just wasted like a huge portion of my life. Like, it was a whole year, maybe a year and a half even. Like, I had spent so much time texting this person, and I thought I was building something, and all of that just felt like it had gone down the drain. Like, it felt like I was practically wasted my life away. Like, I was talking to this person and they were literally cheating the whole time, so what was the point of even dating them in the first place? It was like, it was just a waste of time. I wasted my life away. That year of my life I will never get back. It's gone. And the whole time this girl was just talking to another guy behind my back. And then slowly I realized I was talking to another one of her friends. It was actually her girl best friend at the time. And see, I had a little bit of a thing in my relationship with this girl. So this girl had a bunch of guy like best friends, a bunch of guy friends. And in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of like guy friends being involved in relationships. I feel like they don't always have the best intention in mind. So I always kind of had a thing with her that if we ever have a problem in a relationship where we're arguing, can she please like speak to a female friend? I'd prefer if it's a girlfriend instead of a male friend. And she actually, I believe that she was following this, because anytime we'd argue, she'd always get a second opinion from this girl. And I didn't know the girl at the time, like I wasn't talking to this girl, but I knew this girl's like in-game name, so I went and found her Discord, added her, and the worst of the worst happened. So apart from the fact that she was also cheating on me, she was also practically lying about a bunch of stuff behind my back. Like, she would always tell me, oh, I spoke to this friend about this, but when I spoke to the friend, and this is when it really sunk in for me, her girl best friend didn't even know who I was. And that's when it like really hit me. Like, all that year of my life was practically down the drain over a girl I just felt like I wasted my time talking to, you know what I mean? And then slowly down the line, I kind of realized, wait, I didn't waste my time. I don't know, man, it just didn't sit right with me at all, because I had her friends messaging me like, no, she didn't cheat, you guys weren't even dating then. But it's Discord, bro, it's not a dating site where you're talking to multiple people. Like, it's not meant to be like that, you know what I mean? And like I mentioned previously, I get attached to people like very easily, and like when I do get attached, it's normally like I get very upset upon the thought of losing them or losing them. Like, so when I basically found out that she had practically lied about everything on top of cheated on me, it just kind of broke me down. I was just like, well, this is great, you know? That whole year of my life is just gone now, isn't it? I'm not going to get it back. I could have done so much more with that time. Why did I waste it speaking to her? And I don't want to call it depression, but I went into a state of being like super upset, super sad about it. And then eventually what happened is I kind of like woke up one day. I was like, what am I doing with my life, bro? Like I'm wasting my life away even more and basically doing nothing with it. And that's when it kind of hit me that, you know what? I'm going to put all this energy that I have into doing something, like something that's going to keep my mind off of her, something that's going to keep me distracted so I don't think about the thought of her or what she's doing now. I just didn't want to think about that. I just wanted a distraction, something that would take me completely outside of just real life for like even an hour of my day. Just thinking about something else would like make me feel so much better. And that's when it kind of hit me that, you know what, I'm gonna put my time, funny enough, and I made this YouTube channel. It's why this channel started. I was like, I need to put my energy into something more like efficient, doing something that's like worthwhile. I need to build something. So I made my YouTube channel, and that is what I've been grinding since. And what I've realized over time of having this YouTube channel, having all you awesome guys who always like support me and always see me in game and say, hey Bliss, what's up? Like every single one of you, I always try like talk to every single one of you. I always accept friends on Discord, stuff like that. And just the thought of seeing all you guys show so much support made me like happy inside. So I just kept doing it, bro. I just kept grinding my YouTube, and I've got to where I am today. And I guess that is kind of the moral of this story. I don't want to sound like an old grandpa teaching you guys a lesson, but if you're a guy and you're going through a breakup right now, trust me, I know it can be hard. I know it may feel like you just wasted like your life, especially if a girl cheated on you or anything like that. I know it can feel like you just wasted your life away and you wasted all that time, but I assure you, put your energy and all that time that you sit around like thinking and being sad about her, put it into something that you can like build, something that you can look back at and be like, you know what, she did break up with me, but look where I am at now. Look, I'm working on something, you know what I mean? And what I kind of noticed over time is that I just slowly stopped thinking about her, to the point now where sometimes I still get messages from people like about her, and I'm just like, I don't care anymore. It just doesn't affect me. Like at this point, it's become like an inside joke with my friend group where we just joke and laugh about the situation. Like it's really funny to us now. And now that I look back at the situation, it's kind of annoying because my friends told me many a time, because there were many red flags with this girl. And I do remember some of my closest friends telling me time and time again, like, you need to break up with this girl. She is not it. She will like, it will end badly for you. Just break up now, save yourself the pain, you know what I mean? So I appreciate all my friends like really looking out for me. If any of them three see this, because it was especially three guys I remember who kind of talked me out my depression and like were always there for me, I want you to add them in my Discord server. It's at Nova, at Taylor, and at DMAC. These three guys helped me so much with like time that I was going through. They were always there for me, and they're still my closest friends till date, my three closest online friends. And obviously I thank my IRL friends too, but I'm not going to say their names because I do not want you guys doxing them or something like that. I know how some of you weirdos are online. So that is kind of the end of the situation, I suppose. She ended up breaking up with me, and then my research, my little gut feeling that told me to look into it kind of paid off, because I found out she was cheating on me. Looking back, I know a lot of you are probably asking me this question: do you regret dating the girl or anything like that? And if I'm being honest, when it first happened, bro, I regretted it so much. I was like, bro, like as I mentioned, my life just felt like a waste. That year of my life just felt like I threw it down the drain. But looking back now, I'm like, you know what? It wasn't a waste. Like, I learned so much from that relationship. So if anything, I'm very glad that it happened. I feel like I learned so much looking back at it. Well, I learned what not to look for in a girl. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going through a breakup or you've been cheated on or anything like that, trust me, it might feel like it's the end of the world and you might feel like you're super upset about it, but it's really not. It hurts, I know, trust me. I told you I'm super attached to people. I get very upset upon the thought of losing people, but put that effort, put that into to working on something, because trust me, it pays off in the long run. Never go out your way like I did and chase the girl to try and message her and stuff like that, because it's just not worth it. I tried chasing her, I tried getting a response to see if I could get some closure or something like that, but trust me, it's not worth it. Just work on something in your life that you can grind, that you can practice on. Even if it means like the typical, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym and get in shape. Like, put your energy into something useful, you know what I mean? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a long video. I've been recording for 23 minutes. This is my longest video by far on this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are going through a breakup or anything of sort, feel free to message me on Discord, man. I'm always down to talk to you guys, and I'm sorry if any of you are going through that. But that's all from me, ladies and gents. Thank you to all my supporters on this channel. I appreciate every single one of you. Have an awesome day, ladies and gents. Peace out.